Hello, this is video number 37. And let's read numbers. The read we've looked at so far, the input statement, that's for reading strings. When you want it to just take in what you type at the keyboard and not try to do any interpretation of it at all. It's a little different for reading a number. Reading a number has a format that's similar, but it's the similarities that are going to trip us up if we're not careful. It still has variable on the left. It's still going to be a special case of an assignment statement. Variable equals, and here's where it's different, eval, E-V-A-L, and then parentheses. Then inside parentheses, input, like we've seen before. Then another open parenthesis. We got two open parentheses that we're going to have to remember to close. And then we put the prompt in here. P-R-O-M-P-T. That's the string of your choice. I put that in pointy brackets. That's the symbol that has to be filled in. Close parenthesis. And yet another close parenthesis. So it's hard to tell my parentheses from my pointy brackets. I'll try to make them more distinctive. There. That's pointy brackets prompt. To be filled in. P-R-O-M-P-T is what that says. Variable equals eval, then parenthesis, input, parenthesis, prompt, then two closing parentheses. The effect? It's actually the same as a regular input statement. Same as regular, R-E-G-U-L-A-R, input statement. Except Python interprets, I-N-T-E-R-P-R-E-T-S. Interprets, or actually translates, interprets the string that's typed in as a number. Eval changes it from the string that we get from input into a number. Interprets the input string as a number. Let me read that back. The effect of this, a statement that has this format, is it's the same as a regular input. It's going to read from the keyboard. You have to press enter. It's not going to see it yet. That gives you time to change your mind. If you typed in 1, 2, 3 and you think, oh no, I'm at 4, 5, 6, then you type backspace. It's not read into your program until you actually press the enter key. So it has that in common with the regular input statement. The input part is actually what reads in the keyboard stuff. After it reads that in, then it passes it along to another library routine, another library mini program that interprets or changes the input string into a 2's complement number that we know and love from our days at the low level of computing, and then stores that 2's complement number in variables. So it can read in positives or negatives, but those are first read into strings translated to a number, and I've said that how many times now? Why would we want to do that? I'm knocking my board around, I'm sorry. So we can do math with it. Can't do math with strings. That's why. You got to have it as a number, a 2's complement number. We can't do any arithmetic with it. No adding, no subtraction, no none of that stuff. Can't do that with strings. Now my example. Now I'm going to use variable age. A-G-E equals, and the pieces are eval, E-V-A-L, and then open parenthesis again, input. 2 library calls in a row. It actually does the input first. It does the inside parentheses first. And here I'm going to ask, how old are you? A musical question. There's no way to get music in here. It's just a string. How old are you? Question mark, colon. So the user knows exactly what they're supposed to do next. They're supposed to tell the truth and tell us their age in 2 closing parentheses rather than just 1. The trace, to go with this. The trace is not a variable. Trace is a label. It's Friday. It's been a long week. I'm losing my mind. I've got a variable named age over here. And we've also got to keep up over here with the output because we want to know exactly what the computer's going to do with that. And for that, we got to know what's going on in memory, and we also got to know what's supposed to show up on the screen. How old are you will be printed to the screen because of our input statement here. And it's printed without the quotes. How old are you? Question mark. Colon. And then the cursor just sits there and blinks, waiting for you to type in some number. And since I'm the one running the program, I'm going to type in green input, 39, and press enter. There's no way the computer can check and see whether or not you're telling the truth. It has no choice but to believe what the user types in. So 39, what happens here? A couple of things happen. 39 right now is a quoted string 39. Actually, I should have put it right here, shouldn't I have? How old are you? When that's typed in, that goes in as string 39, air quotes, 39. Changes the string 39 with the eval, changes that to number 39, which we could figure out by doing that binary thing on a place value chart. And number 39 becomes the value of age. What could be simpler? Well, maybe lots of things. That's kind of a complicated thing just to read in a number. But remember, we've got to use library routines to do things that would ordinarily be pretty complicated. Let me switch to alarming red for a warning. Warning. Exclamation point, colon. I'll put the warning in this red box so I don't have to keep writing in red. That will get scary. So the warning will be written in black. Here's the warning. Be sure to use eval when reading a number. Well, let me say it a different way. Be sure to remember. Remember. I made a word. Remember eval when you want to read a number. Exclamation point. And that is something you have to remember. The compiler and the editor and all of the components of the IDLE IDE, bless their hearts, they're going to do everything they can to help you. But if you leave off eval and just say age equals input, how old are you, then the compiler and all the others are going to say, you all-knowing programmer, you must have meant to do that. You must have meant to read this in as a string. And then you ponder, oh, what does it matter? What does it matter if it's a string or an actual 2's complement number? Here's where it matters. Here are numbers. This will be an example, by the way. Example. Numbers. Here's my 39. 39. What do I want to compare that to? Let me see. 39 is less than 125. I had to wait until I came up with the perfect number. That's the perfect number. 39. Oh, everybody knows that. Of course it's less than 39. Of course it's not less than 39. It's less than 125. But no. I didn't read those in using eval. I read them in with just plain old input because I don't understand eval anyway, and I don't have any use for your stinking eval. Here it is as strings then. Strings. 39 with quotes. That's actually greater, big bold, greater than string 125. Not only is the math going to be bad, but comparisons will be bad. What is this fresh madness here? Well, of course, 2's complement, 39 as a positive integer is less than positive integer 125. 39 is greater than 125 because when you compare strings, it does it like comparing alphabetically. You know what? I've been so inefficient with use of board space, it's not going to matter if I make another mess up here. Let me put one that makes absolutely, positively intuitive sense up here. Here's a string apple. A-P-P-L-E. That's a string. Apple is less than, double quote, bat, B-A-T. Where's the logic in that? Well, when you compare strings, you only compare one character at a time until you find where they don't match. And then you make your decision based on that. A and B are different from each other. A is less than B, alphabetically. So the string apple is less than the string bat. And that P is bothering me there. That's not any better, but you just take my word for it. That says apple, that says bat. Apple is less than bat because A is less than B. Look at these strings. 39 is greater than 125. Why? Because 3 is greater than 1. And when I compare those two things as strings, that's as far as it looks. It finds the first character where they don't match and makes its decision based on that. 3 is greater than 1. Therefore, in this crazy mixed up string world, 39 is greater than 125. That was a long-winded argument on a soapbox to try to convince you to remember to use eval when you're reading in numbers. And if you'll do that, we'll all be happy. And the world will be a happier place in general. And I'll see you online.